Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another What's Sold on eBay video. Today I have 10 different items that have sold for me over on my eBay account, and I'm going to share them with you in the hopes that the information I provide about these items helps you out in your own reselling business. And as always, this is not everything that I have sold over on my eBay account. These are just hand-selected items that I feel like will help you guys out. And now with that being said, let's hop into the items. The first item that I have here to share with you all is this pair of Doc Martens. You guys might recognize these because they were part of a recent buy that I made at an estate sale / garage sale. If you haven't seen that video, link will be up top right now. But this pair of cherry red Doc Martens sold for $115 in under a week of me listing them. Dr. Martin is a great brand to look for. It has a huge following and they make a quality product. These boots right here were brand new and never worn, so they were able to ask a higher price than normal, but even used Dr. Martens will sell for some very good money. This pair I actually had listed up at about $130, but the buyer who bought this item also purchased an Armani shirt from me that was also brand new with the tags, and they messaged me asking if I would be willing to lower the price on these boots, considering that they already are ordering something else. And whenever a buyer is wanting to buy more than one thing from me, I am more than happy to lower the price a little bit for them. So we settled on $115 for this pair of shoes on top of the Armani shirt that they already bought. So this sale all went out together, meaning I saved money on the shipping as well. So overall, this was a fantastic item to flip. The next item here is a Sony Walkman MP3 player, and this actually came from the same sale that those Doc Martens did. This was the only electronic item that I bought at that sale, so it was part of that bulk price that I ended up paying, and it sold for $65. Sony, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of, is a great brand, but the Walkman line in particular has a huge collector's market, and everything from their cassette players to their CD players to their MP3 players within that line has a very good sell-through rate over on eBay. This particular model right here was one of the MP3 players, and it did not have a ton of active listings over on eBay, but the sell-through rate was pretty good. They looked like they were selling between $75 and $100 for this specific model. However, mine did not have the charging cord. Luckily, it was still charged from the last time they used it, so I knew that it did work. And when a buyer sent me a best offer of $65 on it, since it did not have a charger or charging cable with it, I was more than happy to accept. And for those of you who aren't familiar with electronics or how to look this stuff up, there is a model number on the back of the majority of electronics out there, and it's an easy way to quickly type something into eBay and pull up sold comps. Just make sure when you're looking up the Walkmans, you are looking them up by that model number, because I have sold certain Sony Walkmans for like in the $15 to $20 range, all the way up to my best one ever, which was $450 for a single Sony Walkman. I'll have popped up a picture of it on the screen right now, but that's $450 for a single Walkman. So do not sleep on this stuff, guys. It's out there and ready to be found. These things are in abundance and they are great sellers. Moving on to our next item here, this is something that it doesn't have a ton of value behind this specific one, but the genre in general has a huge following and there is some great money to be made in it, and that is manga. That is anime that is in the book form. That is what a manga is. It's essentially a Japanese comic book, but there are a ton of titles out there worth some very, very good money. This specific one right here was a Sword Art Online, which is a anime and manga or light novel that is out, and it's very popular. This was for the movie Ordinal Scale that came out not too long ago, and it was a promotional pamphlet for it, so it wasn't even a full book, and this sold for $20. However, I have sold other manga for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars before, depending on the sets. I've sold individual books for $50-$60, and some sets I have sold, I think the most expensive set that I've ever sold was somewhere in the $600 to $700 mark for a set of manga. It's so hot. Do not sleep on it. It is a money maker right now. It's super popular. The next item here is a pair of AG or Adriano Goldschmied blue jeans. This specific pair was a men's pair, but there is plenty of women's of them out there. In fact, I find more women's than men in this brands, but both of them have some decent value if you're getting them for the right price. I think I probably had like $5 into these at a thrift store, and this specific pair sold for $38.21 on a 15% off sale during the July 4th period. But AG is a pretty high-end brand, and it has a good following. When you're flipping through the racks, this is kind of what the back tag looks like that you want to look for. This one's on like a grayish label, but it can also be on a brown label as well. And then when you do find them, make sure you're looking on the inside for the model of the jeans. This one right here was the That's hard to say. The Protégé jeans. Sorry, that took me way too many attempts to say, but this is a good brand to look for. When you're looking at the styles themselves, just make sure you are noting that, because certain styles are worth more than other styles, so it's something that you're going to need to look up. And in general, men's ones will sell more than women's ones. Just be sure to do your research on this brand. Some pairs go for like 20 bucks, and the highest end of them go for around $60 used, so keep an eye out for this brand. It's a pretty good one, and it's definitely something to keep in your mind as you're flipping through the racks. Next, we have a toy. Toys are some of my favorite things to sell on eBay. There's a great collector's market for them, and they have pretty good sell-through rates if you're finding the right stuff. This right here is a Jurassic Park Bush Devil from 1993. It's a Jeep. It was 100% complete. You can see it has like the missile and all the pieces and parts. Everything was there. This was part of an estate sale buy, and I have made some very good money on this buy. I think I paid like 55 bucks for the tub of stuff, and I am well into the $500, $600 mark on this stuff already. This specific Jeep right here sold for $75, no best offer. They just pay the price straight out, and I've actually sold this exact Jeep like 3 or 4 times, so be on the lookout for vintage Jurassic Park. It sells extremely well. The little figures themselves sell well, the dinosaurs sell well, and the vehicles will sell well as well. And then we have a pillowcase. Yes, a pillowcase that sold on eBay for $30. This is a New Kids on the Block, brand new pillowcase. You can see it is still in the plastic here, never been opened, and I got this at a private pick from a lady who was selling me a bunch of toys, and this just happened to be one of the one-off items that she had, and I bought 2 different pillowcases. I think I paid like $5 a piece for them, and like I said, this one sold for $30. Basically anything that is music related that's vintage, especially from the 80s and 90s right now, is very, very hot, and it's probably going to have at least a little bit of value if it's from a well-known band like New Kids on the Block. And I think these ones are a little bit hotter right now because one of you guys down in the comments let me know that they're actually doing some kind of like comeback tour or concert series or something like that. I don't know, I don't follow them, but they are relevant right now to a lot of people, so they are getting searched on eBay, and I think that's might be why this sold pretty dang fast. I had it listed, and it actually sold within 2 days of me listing it the first time, along with the other pillowcase that I have, and that buyer never ended up paying. No big deal. I just canceled it. They got a ding on their account, and I relisted it, and this one sold within 24 hours, and the other one is still currently listed on eBay. Next up here, we have a video game. You guys know I love selling video games as well. Probably, again, in my top 5 favorite things to sell on eBay, and it's actually the way I got into selling on eBay. So, yes, I'm going to be a little bit biased towards them. But if you're not selling video games or looking out for them, you are sleeping on some good money. They sell fantastically. This one right here is Fantasy Zone on the Sega Master System, and it sold for $60. And the buyer who purchased this game offered me another game at $5 off. I believe it was Hang On Safari. Offered me $5 off of that game, and I was more than happy to accept because I'm getting them shipped out in the same package. It's saving me on shipping, and I am more than happy to lower the price for someone who's buying more than one thing. So they bought this one at full price, got another game at $5 off. Win-win situation. Buy video games, sell video games. This stuff is money. And here we have another recent pickup. This is a Pendleton full zip flannel jacket. If you guys don't know about Pendleton, it is a fantastic brand to pick up. Here's what the tag looks like. And Pendleton stuff sells extremely well. When you're looking out for it, what you want to look for are the ones that are wool. Wool ones sell for some great money and can be anywhere from $30 all the way up to $100 plus depending on what the item is. I picked up a lot of Pendleton stuff from this specific sale, and this one right here was an insulated full zip jacket, so it did have a little bit of a more heavy feel to it, and it sold for $85 in about a week. One thing to note about Pendleton stuff when you're buying it is, one, make sure it's wool like I just said, and two, you want to be on the lookout for specific models of the jackets or flannels or shirts, whatever you're buying. There's usually some kind of model that'll tell you the name of it. It'll be like trail shirt or lodge shirt, something like that. Or if you look on the inside on the tags, a lot of times there's like a number that you can type in to find the exact model you're looking for. And again, this one right here was a Thinsulate insulated jacket, and it sold for $85 in the middle of summer. It's currently July right now, and people are still purchasing that stuff. That should tell you how quality the brand is. They're buying it when it's hot out. The next item we got here is a Wilson baseball catcher's mitt, and Wilson's not normally a brand that stands out in my head as being one to look for. However, catcher's mitts do ring a bell in my head, so whenever I see catcher's mitt or a first baseman's mitt, I always look it up regardless of the brand, and this one ended up being worth something. The way to look up most baseball gloves is, again, to look for the model numbers. There's model numbers on like everything, guys. You guys should be looking up this stuff all the time if you can find it, but the model number on this one ended up being right on the inside of the glove, A2550, and when I looked it up, it looks like it was selling pretty decent, so I picked this up at a garage sale for like $2, and it ended up selling for $40. Again, Wilson isn't a brand that rings a bell in my head saying to buy it, but there are specific things to know to look for, like catcher's mitts and first baseman's mitts. Also, be aware that right now we are in like peak baseball season, so this stuff is selling very well right now. So if you're seeing a bunch of bats or gloves or baseball equipment, look it up. It could be worth something. And finally, the last item of the night is this brand new in-box KitchenAid 12 cup carafe, or carafe, as you heard me say in my last video, and this thing sold in under 2 days for me for $55. KitchenAid is just one of those brands that people love, and they are willing to pay up to have that name on their items. And I don't do a ton of kitchen related stuff like pots and pans or, you know, appliances and stuff like that, but KitchenAid is definitely a brand that I'm always on the lookout for because the resale value is just so insanely good when you look at the value you get compared to the sell-through rate. This stuff just flies out of the store. And one thing to note about KitchenAid stuff is that certain colors do sell better than other ones. A lot of the retro colors like the teals and there's like eggshell blues, those tend to have some pretty good value, and people will pay up more for specific colors of KitchenAid items. Also, if you ever come across a KitchenAid blender or some of the blender attachments, that stuff sells just as well used as it does new. I mean, I'm talking an easy $100-200 depending on the model that you get, and it will fly out of your stores. I mean fly out of your stores if you get it priced right. This brand just has people's hearts, and people want to buy it, and they will pay up. So be on the lookout for KitchenAid. It is something that you can come across relatively often, and it has a great value behind it. And that's it. That's going to wrap things up for this video. I hope that you guys all enjoyed and learned a thing or two. If you did learn something, leave me a comment down below about what you learned or what your favorite item was. I would love to hear it. Also, while you're down there, hit that like button for me. It helps me out, lets me know that you are enjoying the content and the information I'm providing. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, hit that red button. I hope I've earned it by now. You can stay up to date with all the content I put out by simply hitting that little button. It's easy, it's free, and I provide some information for you to hopefully make money on. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Till next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.